This is where I want to teach you if you're making money, but you're feeling broke, or if you're feeling like, where's all that money going? Or like, where do I even start? This is where to start. Okay. This is where you start if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're a solopreneur and you don't have a big team yet. Like, this is some of the stuff you can implement right away. Let me do this first. I think this next slide is one of the ones. Rate your finances. Here we go. Let's see if it's going to do it. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay, it's fine. We'll get it on the next one. But if I had you rate your finances, when I do that slide, most people are right in the 4 to 6 is what they say. Like, I'm not terrible. It's like I'm not at one where I just like have absolutely no idea, or I don't even have receipts in a shoebox is like number one. Like there's nothing going on. Most people are in like the shoebox area, 2 to 6. Maybe you might have QuickBooks and you might have something that's more like a 6, 7, up there, where if you have like a dashboard and everything, that's like a 10 and you're able to forecast and project. And a lot of people are not on that high end scale. And what I want to do is just raise you a few levels today. I might not be able to give you to a 10 here because like you got to go through those stages. You got to get books and numbers and like you got to get some of the foundational pieces first, but I can at least tell you how to get to a 10 as well too. This is someone who was more at a 2 or 3 when I first met him. This is Joey English. He's a part of actually a mastermind that I met some people from Richmond years ago. I met him in 2019, and from meeting him, he was a part of this group. There was about 40 people there, and he got in front of everyone and started crying because it was like a mastermind where you do the challenges and things, and he's just start like before he even got a word out, and we're all like, we're frozen, right? Have you ever been in a room where someone's starting to cry and you're like, I have no idea what to do with myself? And we're all just sitting there, what's going on? And he said, I feel like I was doing deals and I'm making money. He was a rehabber and he also was a landlord. So he had rentals and he had fix and flips he was doing. He's like, I'm making money. I don't know where it's going. I feel like we scaled up this year, but I don't see any of that profit. And so we got on a call one-on-one after because people pinged them to me because of Profit First for real estate investing. And so we talked and told me the real story behind the scene, like more in depth. Like my wife was working in the business that year and she was our transaction coordinator. Like Joey's working 80, 90, 100-hour weeks. We went from one deal a month that we were doing to about 3 or 4 deals on average. So like we were scaling up, but I went into my CPA's office and she said, like looking at your books, I'd never get into real estate. And he's like, why? Like I did all this work and did all these deals. She's like, you lost $70,000 in your flipping business. And he's like, what? Like, and she said to him, like, it'd be better that you worked at McDonald's than in your own real estate company. And he was like feeling the depression, like down and out. And he said on that phone call something I'll never forget. He's like, David, I did more deals than I've ever done, but I lost more money than I ever lost. And like, this is where a lot of people get into. If you try to scale a business and your finances are from the 2 to 6 range, like if you don't have at least a good foundation and you don't know where your money's going, like this is what ends up happening. This is where it's like money's going in the door, out the door, in the door, out the door, and you're literally stuck in a rat race and there's that hamster wheel. So that's why I give this presentation and like why I love teaching this. Because if you can do this, if you can get some of these principles, I can either make you more profitable on your next deal, or I can help you stay away from this whole situation if you're just getting up and running. And like the habits that I can help you build today will help you at the end, like be able to say, yes, this was worth it. I want you to stay away from this. So if you're in the thick of this, I'll give you some light at the end of the tunnel. If you've never felt this way, like this is how to avoid all of that. And you don't need to be a financial wizard. Like I said, if you need help with bookkeeping, that's more of a who, not how problem. Like you probably as the owner need a who in your life, not a how do you bookkeep. But for Profit First, it is a little bit of who and how, because Profit First is more about how do I become the owner who is a wealthy business owner and has good money habits. So that's why I teach this, because the how impacts you. It impacts your bottom line and it impacts how you can pay yourself and be profitable. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to just teach you like, here's where the numbers go. It's like, I want to teach you how to be a better business owner. A lot of us, though, are playing the wrong game. If you're here today, you might think you're in the real estate world, in the real estate game, right? But if you're an entrepreneur, what game are you really playing? You're playing the game of money. Okay, I'm just going to give you the answers. We're going to keep rolling. You're playing the game of money at the end of the day. You've just chosen to be here with Brandon and part of this great group to learn how to make more of that money and through real estate investing. What I want you to do though is I want you to switch your mindset from you're not just learning to play the real estate world or be in the real estate game. You're actually learning that I need to acquire the houses and sell them or rent them or whatever, build that equity so I can get the cash, right? That's what we're all looking for. Because what is true financial freedom? It's being able to do what you want whenever you want because you have the cash to be able to do that. So this is where I want to help you play the right game. A lot of us might think we're playing real estate, but you're not. You're playing the game of money. You know what happens when you do that? You look like this guy. I make money but feel broke. That is the number one statement I hear on phone calls with individuals, whether they're a client that just walked through the door and I have a call with them because I talk to each and every person that walks through our door, or if this is just like while I'm out at an event. David, I'm making money, but I don't know where it's going. Or like I had 10,000 last week. I have 1,500 this week. I have no idea where that money went. One guy I spoke to a group, he was like, I had 90,000 last week. I have like 1,000 this week. He's like, I have no idea where all that money went. He's like, I think it went to my projects and I think it went out the door for this, but I don't know. And that's a very yuck feeling inside of being an entrepreneur. But it's not just real estate. This is how most entrepreneurs feel if they're real with me in their business, if they have done any amount of deals or if they've done any amount of projects or if they have any amount of sales, like it starts to turn this way if they don't get what I'm teaching today locked down. The root problem, I believe, is we're taught so much out there and like especially Facebook land and like just everyone who says that they're a professional and they're not a like Brandon is a real professional and he knows what he's doing and he can create a group like this. There's so many people out there though that just say, here you go, here's what you should do, and they're not doing it. You know what they teach as well? They just teach you that income solves all problems. I believe that's a half truth. I don't believe it's a full on lie. A full on lie would just, that would be like, it doesn't matter. You could just keep going. What you need is income. You need to be able to make the money and you need to be able to keep it. Making it and keeping it are two different skill sets. Making it is a skill set, keeping it is a discipline. And a lot of people have never been taught the how and the discipline of keeping money if you make it. So if you are feeling broke, and we had Kim, I need to like send you something special for actually answering that question. That is a hard question to answer usually in that chat. So I really
As
appreciate
as
you.
soon as I put it out there too, I was like, let's see who actually responds to this.
Right? Yeah.
I will tell you guys, I feel this way all the time, very often. We're rehabbers. All our money is all over the place, right? They have
Yeah.
that joke is it's if you want lunch, don't go out, if you want somebody to pay for lunch, don't go out to eat with a developer or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're talking to a group that needs your help, that's for sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
well, it's not just this group. It's if most people were honest. So
Mm.
this is where most people sit. This is where if I get into like a mastermind group and there's like you see those out there, right? Like there's people charging $100,000 to be like the people there. Like my story, if you don't know my story, is we were doing 25 deals a month 10 years ago in the like Chicagoland area. But we were spending 26 worth of deals out the door. So we were the same in this exact same boat, making money, but spending head over heels. And we didn't know. We didn't have just basic financial principles in place like I'm teaching today. This is why I'm so passionate because I've lived it and I've been in that awful situation at a high level. I've seen it at Joey's level. I've seen it at people doing one deal a quarter. Like it doesn't really matter the deal volume. It matters, do you know these principles or not? Do you know how to overcome this? Can you get this as part of who you are and a part of your company? So I want to help you with the root problem and attack that root problem today. Anyone played this game? This is such a great visual representation of all of you that were very honest with me that I'm so thankful for here. And Brandon, thank you for leading the way there. That a lot of us, if you have not played this game, this is Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow 101, Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He built this game. He actually wrote the book to sell this game, crazy enough, but the book sold way more copies. But the game is literally two parts. It's called the rat race here in the middle, and then at the outside edge, he calls it the fun track. Or if I had to equate it today, here, okay, right here in the middle would be the rat race. And this is where most entrepreneurs live. And in the real estate world, a lot of people have traded their W-2 paycheck to paycheck living for deal to deal living here. Like they're just literally going around as a rehabber, as a flipper, or as a wholesaler, or as a landlord, just trying to land on these little green spaces that say big or small deal. And getting enough deals, they think getting enough deals or the volume will push them into the financial, this track, the fun track, or whatever. To me, that's the financial freedom. And you know what builds a bridge from the rat race to the financial freedom track? It's not deal volume. It's a cash bridge. It's having the cash to be able to buy your financial freedom. For some people, that looks like hiring people to get stuff off your plate and creating more time in their business. It looks like maybe a boat. It may be looking like a travel, like traveling the world with your spouse. I don't care what it is, but whatever financial freedom looks like to you, that bridge needs to be built with good financial habits. Otherwise, your current habits keep you stuck in the middle. Okay. And no one wants to live there. That's where we live. That's where a lot of people live. That's where Joey lived. I want to get you out of that because you're the small business superhero. You are. If you're a part of this group, you are a part of a real estate investing group. Let's be honest, you touch people's like their dwelling, like where they live. This is one of the core four, right? Of like being a human being, you need a roof over your head. So if you are not able to be the best rehabber, flipper, landlord, wholesaler, whatever, what lives are you affecting? Not just yours, not just your families, not just your team. It's the people that you aren't able to help, or the people you're not able to buy from, or people you're not able to sell to, or your lenders that you're not able to then be able to have them private lend and do all their stuff as well. Like you touch so many lives in the real estate world, it's not even funny. And so many rehabbers and people go upside down or out of business, or when the market turns, I don't know if you feel that in the marketplace where it's more of a buyer's market than a seller's market. It's way more of a buyer's market here in Florida than it was even 6 months ago. It's like when the market changes, are you able to adapt? And you know how you adapt? You have money and you have it stacked to be able to actually have the money for what you want when you want it and to be able to go through hard times too. So I don't want you to land anymore as that superhero. I want you staying in the sky and not having your business just keep dragging you down. So how do we do that? 3 steps. First is all going to be about you playing your own game. You need to find what you need from your business. This is point number one. Find what you need to keep. This is where if you do have a good set of books, it would be really easy to go into your books to grab this number easily. If you don't have that, you might need help. That's what we'll talk about at the end. But this is where do you know what you need from the business? Let me ask you this question. Why did you even start this? Why are you a part of Brandon's group? Like, why do you want to become more? Why do you want something? You could go get a W-2 job. You could clock in, clock out. You could do all that stuff, but why do you want a business? Why did you start it? Why are you in that day to day now? Why? Because if you say financial freedom in your head, or if you write it down, whatever, like, I don't want it to stay there. Financial freedom is good, but like, that's what everyone wants. What does financial freedom mean to you? If you know what makes your business different than everyone else's here, if you're a flipper or a rehabber like Brandon is, and you're doing the exact same thing, you know what makes your business different than his? You, your family, your situation. Like you are different than him, even though you might be doing the same business. Your why will be different than his because you have different life circumstances, situations, and people and relationships. So we need to keep that the focus because when the going gets tough, we need to be able to pull on our why and say, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm setting up the system. This is why when a deal comes in, I don't take all the money and just reinvest everything back into the business. I keep some for myself. Like some of the things where you might think it's a little counterintuitive or difficult. It's like, this is why, what will keep you going. And honestly, the keeping it is a discipline. This is what will keep you disciplined too with your money if you keep that why in front of you. Here's one of my whys. My daughter, Eleanor, I'm going to illustrate this whole concept to you with this story that I have from my daughter. If you've never read the book Crucial Conversations, this is where I take it from. Credit to where credit is due. Chapter 10, they call it Retaking Your Pen. And they say that when we're born with our pen in our hand, and that's our self-worth. And all of us are writing our own story. And we're writing our story, especially from like 0 to 4. You've got your pen grasped firmly and you're writing it. No one can touch you, right? You ask a million questions, you dance like nobody's watching. You get a little bit older, school age, and you start to give up your pen to other people because you want to fit in. My daughter, I saw this for the first time a couple years ago. There was a dress up day at school for my daughter. It was called Tacky Tourist Monday. I live in Florida, so go figure. So Tacky Tourist Monday. So Monday morning, she's super excited. She's got all the clothes laid out from the night before. She grabs them, she puts them all on. She's got a little hat, fanny pack, little camera. We get in the car, we go to school. She's just chatting me up the whole time. If you have a little girl or have ever had a little girl in your life, you know how that is. I'm loving it as a dad. And then, though, 5 minutes away from school, she gets real quiet, which is unusual. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So I asked her, Eleanor, what's going on, girl? And she said, Dad, do you think it's really tacky Tourist Monday? Should I take this stuff off? Like, what if the kids laugh at me? What if I don't fit in? I'm like, oh man, because I had already read that book up to that point, so I knew what was happening literally in the moment. I'm like, these other little snotty nose 6-year-olds are holding your pen. She's like, what are you talking about? And I said, no, never mind. You're beautiful. Walk in there, like, have your head held high, and like, here on the app, I'll show you that it's the actual day. So she walked in, she had a great time. But how many times do we give up our pen throughout our life just for someone else? Joey did it. Joey wanted to scale up just because other people in his group were scaling up, and he just wanted to do what they were doing. We did it in other groups when we were a part of them years ago. Like we wanted to do, why do we get to 25 deals a month? It wasn't because we were rolling in the dough with it. It's because we wanted to sound cool. That is a horrible reason to build a business. And we gave up our pen to other people. And ultimately, it took us down. Like, that's where I don't want you to do that. Not only do you need to play the money game, you need to play your own game. It needs to be your game, not someone else's that you pick up. So I want you, if you're here on this group, what is this, Tuesday at like noon Eastern? Like, this is where, if you're a part of this group and you're here today, you are already picking up your pen at some point. I want to invest in myself. I want to make sure that I'm doing what's best for me and my family. You're picking up your pen, pick it up one more time to really understand what do you need? What do you need from your business, which is your keep number? What do you need and want? What do I need to pay myself on a monthly basis to sustain my current lifestyle? But then what do I want from the business? If I need 10,000 a month, what would 20,000 do if I want it? Or 30 or 40 or 50? Like, I want you to get creative with the want number, but the need number is more of like, do you know what your current expenses are in your personal life and how much you would need from the business to cover those? If you don't know that number, I do have a cheat sheet as well at the end, along with my book, to figure out that number on your own. Literally, it's just a one-page thing of like, how do I figure out what I really need to take from my business so you can find that keep number for yourself? Because that's its own presentation. I could go into that and it's, a whole 45-minute session. What I want you to do is if you need that, it's part of that at the end. It's really the number you need to take on a monthly basis to sustain your current lifestyle. With Joey, one of the first things I did with him and sat down with him and with our team and with Joey, went back and he did the keep number analysis. Like, what do I need to keep? And he did that with his wife. And they came back on a phone call, and Ashley was there too, his wife, and said, we did this and we figured out, David, not only like what number we need on a monthly basis, but how many deals we need to do this next year. And I was like, how many do you need to do? And they were like, well, we were doing about 4 a month before. Guess how many we need to do now? I said, I don't know, back to 1 a month and flipping 1 a month. And they were like, no, we need to do 5 flips next year to hit our need number. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. He's like, that's why I'm so pumped on this call. He's like, 5 flips seems doable and not running around 80, 90, 100-hour weeks, not feeling like where's all the money in the bank and like all this stuff. He's like, that seems doable. And Ashley doesn't have to work in the business. She was having health complications because of the stress and everything. Like she said, I don't even have to work in the business anymore. And they were super excited and they haven't even done the deals yet. And then they actually did this next year. She didn't work in the business. He worked 40 hours a week in the business and they did 5 deals. And he said, this was the most stress-free year we've ever had in our business. And they actually had a bottom line that year. He's like, our bottom line is bigger than it has been the last 4 years just from doing these 5 deals because we were actually looking at what to keep and what we really needed from the business. It's crazy when you focus on something, how it expands. It's like that must be a principle or something. So that's where I want to help you focus on the profitability. So number 2 here is like, how do I really pay myself? What's the system to set up? This is profit first in a nutshell. This is where if you can get the first steps here, honestly, if you do this, your P&L and balance sheet and all the bookkeeping stuff will be easier too. Like to be able to know, like, and to be able to see the bottom line and be able to have it separated out. This is where if you put this system in place, it will help you know where your cash is going, be more profitable, and honestly make your P&L and balance sheet look a whole lot better too. So how to create the wealth system? Well, here's how not to do it. The black hole bank account. The black hole bank account, most people have this in their business. This is what not to do. This is the one big bank account that most people have where all money comes in, all money goes out, and then they never see it again. It goes into the swirling vortex of doom where literally money comes in, money goes out. And this is where I hear, even like today, like from all the real estate investors and all the business people we've worked with, I make money, but I don't know where it goes. This is one of usually the root causes is we don't have a good way of managing the cash in the business other than is there money in my big account today? Yes, let's spend it. If there's not, like maybe I need to hold off or like I don't even want to look at my bank account today because I know there's not much in it. This is where if you're sitting here, I totally get it. This is where most people start. This is like let's start with square one and move past that to a better way. What Profit First is all about is the envelope system. Okay. Dave Ramsey's made it popular, whether you love him or hate him. Real estate investors usually hate him, but he's got great principles. Okay. Great principles of cash and of money. So, what I want to do is I want to make sure you know what bank accounts to set up because you're not going to set up envelopes. You're going to set up physical business checking accounts around these three numbers what you make, spend, and keep. What you make, what you spend, and what you keep. This is the financial framework for knowing what's coming in, what's going out, and what do I actually get to keep. If you run a set of books as well too, or if you're having bookkeeping issues, this is the three numbers I would focus on first. Can you pull these out of your books? What's coming in, what's going out, and it makes sense, and you know where it's going out, and what do you get to actually put in your pocket? Now, with Profit First, we're dealing with just cash, not the bookkeeping aspect, but cash in your bank accounts. So I want you to have a cash system dedicated to keeping more of what you make. So here we go. What are the first three to open up? The first three bank accounts, the golden trio. I look at me. I look like I love Harry Potter and Star Wars, which I do. And those big epic saga movies, right? They have the three main heroes, Luke, Han, Leia, Harry, Ron, Hermione, making sure good wins. What does winning look like in business? Winning does not look like your 25 deals a month and look good on stage, but you're spending 26 worth out the door. It looks good when you have a full bank account and it's called profit and it's filled up. Like when you actually have the cash that you want to spend for whatever the heck you want, that's winning in business. That's where you don't have stress. That's where you don't have sleepless nights. So the golden trio help you keep more. So what's the first three accounts I would open up as a real estate investor? Honestly, I don't care if you're an agent, a lender, whatever it might be. These would be the first three in any type of business. Profit, owner's comp, and owner's tax. Profit, owner's comp, and owner's tax. What's the difference between these three? These all help me keep more. So shouldn't I just have one account and call it keep? You could do that, and that'd be way better than what most people do. Or if you split these out, profit is your want number. Like, what do I want from the business? Profit equates to what you want or that financial freedom that you're craving. Profit helps you get there faster. Owner's comp helps you get out of your own rat race. That's what you need to pay yourself. Owner's comp is like, I would still set up a physical business checking account, even if you pay yourself W-2 and it comes out of operational expenses or whatever. You want to fill up this owner's comp to see how much you have in reserves for yourself to pay yourself. Like, do you have months of reserves? Do you have no reserve to pay yourself? Do you have any money in that bucket? It's going to help you focus on what you need from the business. So that would be honestly one of the first ones I fill up. Like if you're going to set the system up and you're like, this is a lot of bank accounts, I would start with owner's comp so you get in the habit of paying yourself something. Even if you don't need it, start with a small amount and the owner's comp bucket. Owner's tax. On the owner's tax bucket, this is literally a bank account dedicated to your sanity, like to your financial peace of mind. Because if you are a flipper or a wholesaler and you don't have a ton of buy and holds that will offset all of your taxes, then you're going to pay taxes at tax time. What I suggest you do is you take a little portion of every deal that closes and put it into the owner's tax bucket. So when tax time comes, boom, you've got the money to pay the taxes and you don't have to worry about it. Tax time just ended for, or kind of ended because if you're an entrepreneur, then you've got the extensions, right? And all that. That does not mean that you weren't supposed to pay though by April 14 and 15. That those days right there, for the tax day. But if you extend it, you're just going to have penalties and all that that gets tacked onto it. But that tax bucket can help you avoid those penalties and the loss of sleep and help you to pay it when it comes due. So if you're going to owe taxes and whenever you decide to pay those throughout the year, or even if you're a very good business owner and if you get on the system and then you pay it quarterly, like as the quarter closes, that's the best. But that's another story. These are the first three I would open up to give you the peace of mind and to start taking back your financial freedom. Then you've got the other foundational accounts, income and OPEX. OPEX is operational expenses. This was your black hole bank account. That's what OPEX was. Now it becomes an account just to dedicated to spending the money. Income becomes an account to just keep the money, make the money or the money that comes into your business, like income or deposits, come into that account. Then I suggest once a week you move it out of income into the other accounts to be able to have a good flow of your money. It comes into income, you separate it out into the keep accounts or your profit first accounts, and then the OPEX account to run the business. But now you have a framework that you can set up. Like you don't have to be a financial wizard to set this stuff up, right? You don't have to be a bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, CFO person. But now you can know from your bank account level what's coming in, what's going out, what do I get to keep. Those are the three most important numbers. Here's a special bonus. If you're a flipper, if you have rentals or anything, if you have private money that you seek out, I would set up what is called either, I call it OPM or the investor vault. Like set up an OPM bucket or bank account. So that way, if you're taking money from private lenders that they send it to you directly or they send your draws to you directly, I would put it in the OPM bucket and then pay for the rehabs out of OPM or that investor vault because then you need accounts. The first five accounts are to run your business. That sixth account, the OPM account, is to run those rehabs and projects so you don't go down the horrible rabbit hole of like, oh shoot, I'm in a Ponzi scheme now because I ran out of money for project A. I got to go to project, lender B to finish project A, like, and all this stuff. Like, it's a nightmare. I want you to be able to clearly see, do I have enough money to finish the projects that I have? If not, then I want a yellow flag instead of a red flag when I run out of money. Does that make sense? Like this helps you have a yellow flag on that journey versus like, oh, I think I ran out of money. Where am I going to finish this rehab from? So this is where it will just help you understand, do I have enough money to finish my current projects in progress? Whether you have one or whether you have 100 projects, you can at least see the money in here, will it cover everything that I'm trying to do right now? So it gives you a high level overview, which is really what a lot of entrepreneurs are really looking for. If you're like, good God, that was so many accounts. What do I do? Start with one. If you can't do all of them, start with one. Start with the owner's comp account. Start where you can start paying yourself consistently. Do one account and transfer 1% of everything. Like start small, start where you are. That's the best advice I could give you. And if you're like, I don't want to open up all the accounts, Joey, for the love of God, Joey gave me trouble up front years ago and was like, I don't know if I want to set them all up. I'm like, did you like losing $70,000? I've got a little bit more leverage over you. So like, let's set these all up. So he set them all up and now he sends me a picture every year. I will never go back to one account, he said. He's like, it's too clarifying from my level, the entrepreneur, to see where all my money is. Like now he wakes up and he knows, like, do I have enough to finish my rehabs? Do I have money in profit? And he's been able to do cool things like buy an RV from his profit account and take road trips with his family. That's where I want you to be able to do cool things with your money, but you won't be able to if you don't know where it is or if you don't have a good system set up for it. So number one was all about playing your game. Number two was setting up the game to win. Number three is how do we win continuously? Like, how do I actually win the game? Well, we got to stack cash, right? Well, how do you do that? I've had so many people tell me I've set up the system, but then I haven't done anything with it. This is the how to solve that problem. If you're going to set this system up, how do you do something with it continuously? Here we go. I'm going to teach you what to do with your cash weekly, monthly, and quarterly. Weekly, I would move the money. If it comes into income, then I move it from income to the rest of the accounts. That's what I'm doing on a weekly basis. Whenever I get money by Friday of that week, I want it in the different buckets. Here is, if you're going to be flipping or wholesaling, the chart for you. If you need it for rentals, it's too much to fit all in one screen. So that's a part of that cheat sheet as well too. These are the target percentages depending on your size of business and how much revenue you're doing or gross profit. That real revenue is more like gross profit in a real estate investing business. So if you're from zero all the way up to 50 million, Like these are the different percentages based on the size of the business that are the targets or goals. You might not be able to start here, start where you can, and then from there try and get better each and every month and each and every quarter so that way you get closer to the targets. So yes, I will, Erica, I will give a link to the cheat sheet at the end. I've got a little QR code thing, so I saw that question just pop in there. So I'll make sure you get that, especially if you have rentals and stuff, it's on that cheat sheet so you can get the targets for that. Every month, review your money. So every week, move it, and then I give you the targets, but that might come down the road like for the targets, but start where you are. Every month, review it. What do you review? I don't need you to be this financial wizard if you just set up this system. If you need help from a financial wizard, like that's a different story. You'll need to be able to be savvy with your books and numbers and all that. But if you're just setting up profit first, what I would say, the three numbers you need to know, what you make, spend, and keep. So if you've got the income bucket, you can see what came in last month. If you got OPEX, you can see where it went out and what it went to. And then the keep account, golden trio, profit, owner's comp, and owner's tax, you can see how much you put into the keep buckets as well. Just review. Did I actually bring in enough? Did I spend it in the right places? And then did I actually get to keep any of it? If you do that, I promise you will be savvier than 90% of all the owners that we've ever worked with, or like when I've gone and talked, because most people cannot even give me those simple numbers in their business at the drop of a hat. And you'll be able to do it just by opening up your bank accounts. Then every quarter, I want you to take your money. What does that mean? Take your money. Out of profit, I want you to take up to 50% and do whatever the heck you want with it. This is why we set up a profit account. This is why we build a business, is for financial freedom. So this is where we encourage the people we work with or anyone who starts profit first, every quarter, take up to 50% out of profit and have fun with it. That's what we would like for you to do. Like one of our client is not Taylor Swift. One of our clients really loves Taylor Swift though. And so 2 quarters ago, Taylor Swift was in their area, like in Florida or whatever. And so they woke up, their daughter's a huge Swiftie. And so they're like, we have money in our profit account. It's the end of the quarter. Let's take it. They went that day to her concert and made like, they told me like a core memory, like from that movie Inside Out. Like this was something that we're going to remember forever. And I'm like, this is what it's about, not Taylor Swift. It's all about taking the money from profit and doing whatever the heck you want with it. That's what I want for you. So what is your why? What would be your Taylor Swift? Like, so for some people, I've gone on these calls and they're like, I just want a new couch. I'm like, set up a profit account and buy a couch over this next quarter because now you'll be saving towards that specific thing in your business. Some people have like picked up and moved to like Portugal. Like we've had I could tell you some crazy stories of what people have done with their profit buckets. But what I want you to do is build a business you love and around your why. Like, why did you start this dang thing? And are you going to get what you want from it? I don't want you to be like the people that I've talked to over and over again who don't do anything with it. I could tell you story after story. There's a guy that I was just with that he actually, okay, crazy story. He moved forward with us 10 months ago as a client, but then he backed out during onboarding, came back to us 10 months later and said, I need your help. And like we were going to start working with him again, but then he said, actually, we don't have any cash right now, and I'm going to have to declare bankruptcy. I was like, oh my gosh. Like if we would have just helped you 10 months ago, or if you would have implemented profit first or something, like we could have avoided this. It was cash flow issues. It was the number one thing that takes businesses down. You just needed that help. What I'm telling you is like, start where you can today, because I don't want you, especially
Had an
during a
image.
rough, rocky time in real estate. This is what
Hey,
separates the
good.
people that make it versus the people that fold. This is what will separate you in this group versus other groups, is being able to implement a system like this for yourself. So that way you can have a Joey story where last year he took that 3-week road trip in the RV with the profit account because one of his big whys for his business was to be able to spend time with family and travel with them. The other one was to give to charity. Last year, he set up a giving account and put $71,005.07 and gave that to this camp for kids. He sent me a text message with that picture. I picked up the phone and called him and said, Joey, like, that's awesome, man. He's like, I said, does that number ring a bell? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, it's a big number. I'm like, yes, it is. But do you remember when we first started working together years ago, how much you lost that year before? And he's like, oh, shoot. Yeah, $70,000. And I'm like, yes. And this last year, you gave 70,000 from one account and didn't touch profit or owner's comp or OPEX or anything else in the business to be able to give this. I'm like, this is where if you have a goal, and you have a big why, you need to make sure your money's pointing towards that. So whether it's like the Taylor Swift or if it's this type of thing, I want you to be able to accomplish that. Honestly, for most entrepreneurs, you know where it starts? Not in the bookkeeping department. It starts with, do I have profit first, or do I have a system for my cash set up so I can be confident with where my dollars are going? So that's what I wanted to give you today. Hopefully that was helpful, because what we're doing at Simple CFO is being more like a financial GPS. We have a couple different offerings. We have like our CFO offering, which helps you implement all of this, where a lot of bookkeeper CPAs look in the past. The CFO looks forward more like a GPS than a rear view mirror, helping you know where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. But we also do have rear view mirror type offerings as well too, if you need bookkeepers. So this is when to reach out. I would just say, if you are doing deals, and if you have 100,000 in revenue or gross profit, that's when we can start to help you and get this stuff off your plate. And if you want to keep more of what you make and you want the headache of financial management or bookkeeping or anything like that, then also I want you to see if you can answer some of these following questions. This is also a good qualifier too. Can you answer these questions? Do you know your revenue last month? Do you know your monthly expenses? Do you know your net profit? If you do, these are like the softballs. How about these next ones? Do you know what the cash in your business account or accounts is earmarked for? Like every dollar that comes in and goes out. Were you able to pay yourself consistently last year or over this year? Do you hate the numbers part of the business? Like if that's a yes, like then I understand that's probably being neglected if you do hate the numbers part, which most entrepreneurs do. So that's another qualification too. No matter what, if you're here today, I want to give you my book, Profit First for Real Estate Investing, the ebook or audiobook. If you want the print book, go to Amazon. That's where it's housed, and you can buy the print book. But if you want that, that's where you'll go. I'll also give you the cheat sheet, which I think Erica was asking about. This is what I was referencing throughout the presentation, which is literally like 1, 2, 3, how to get it up and running, at least profit first. Profit first, you can start to implement it. But if you need to go more in depth or if you need hand holding, that's what we're here for, because we do a couple different things at Simple CFO. Our two core offerings is either, if you need books and bookkeeping, we have that help. And we run it off profit first. So you'll get profit first bookkeeping, or we have a CFO option, which then is helping you to implement profit first and customize it for you and give you like a dashboard so you can also see where every dollar is going and help you track your rehabs and the cash in and cash out. So it's like we have bookkeeping if you just need the bookkeeping side, or if you need some more advanced help of like, I need to be able to actually pay myself, implement profit first, and be able to know where every dollar is going and like get a dashboard set up. That's where we want to help you wherever you are. Wherever you are as a business owner, we can at least help you take those first steps and get you to a better place on the financial end of your business. So many people just don't know the first steps to take. That's where, if you get on a call with us, that's where we can help you. Because like I referenced earlier too, like the book, this is a great book, Who Not How. If you're an entrepreneur who doesn't love the finances, who doesn't just wake up eating spreadsheets for breakfast, I get it. It's like you might need a person in your life that does that, or a team that does that, because you can do some of the how part of profit first. I would not suggest you as the CEO sitting in the CFO seat for very long, even though it's a position that you will need to have. You'll need high level financial leadership help. And even as a small business, that's why we do fractionalized, because it's not a full-time person. You'll need someone there to at least help you and handhold you through that process at some point in your business. If you just need the books, then that's what you need up front. But then from there, it's the profit first implementation. So if you don't know where to start, you can book a call with us. This is on the second page. If you fill out the info for the cheat sheet, which I'm about to give you, you just wait, and the second page is to book a call with our team. And like I said, if you need help on just getting bookkeeping up and running, or if you need more advanced help, you've already got a good bookkeeper, you've got a good CPA or whatever, and you need a CFO option to be able to know where your dollars are going, we can do that and talk to you about that as well. We'll just meet you where you are and give you the best next steps forward of what we think would be like, this is where you are. Okay, this is what we recommend to be able to at least take the next steps. So here you go. That's how you get it. So Erica, this was that link you were looking for. simplecfo.com/TRP, or that's the QR code there. I'm actually taking a couple of the calls this week as well too. So if you want to talk to me one-on-one about this, and I can dive into your business and see what's going on and give you a good recommendation, then pick a slot for this week. I'm working some of the slots here because we do have another person, but we have lots of people, and we've got about 10 slots open right now on the bookkeeping side, and about that same on the CFO side. So depending on where you are and what you need, that's where we can help you. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I've done this presentation lots of times, and like this is where I have people like Sandra saying in the chat, like she's already set up the accounts and everything. Like, I want you to go and do something with this. If you need help and hand holding, that's what we're doing. If you want to do it yourself, grab that cheat sheet and start. Like, if you haven't done a deal, start with the cheat sheet. Start with my book. The cheat sheet's like the overview, the book would give you the details. So that's where I wanted to be. So there you go.